Hey guys, welcome to the Clubhouse. I'm Billy Jackson, and today's review is going to be on Game of Thrones Season 8, Episodes 1 through 3. Sorry I have to do 1 through 3. Trust me, the last 3 episodes I'll do a video for each episode, but as y'all know, my computer's been down, so I haven't been able to do it, so I'm going to catch up really quick, and I will try to do this as fast as possible so the video is not that long for you guys. But let me start off with Episode 1 of Season 8. Loved it. I knew it was just going to be kind of a recap and exposition of everything. I love seeing all the characters reuniting. Arya sneaking up on Jon Snow and the Godswood. I love that stuff, and them, comparing swords and, stories, not really comparing stories, but just how they were like, I've been through a lot, me too, and you could just tell on their faces, and they could tell on their faces that they have been through a lot ever since they saw each other in the first season. They haven't even seen each other since then. And I loved Jon seeing Bran, and Bran just being kind of like, I'm not Bran anymore. I'm somebody else. And, he just looks at him weird, like, what do you mean? But he doesn't really understand the whole three-eyed raven thing. But I liked the episode. I knew it was just going to be kind of a catch-up kind of thing. So I really didn't like Sansa being standoffish to Daenerys. I didn't understand it until later episodes I got it. But I didn't like it at first, but I'm glad they're kind of coming around in these later episodes. So we'll see what happens. But Season 1, God, I said it again. Episode 1 of Season 8 I thought was just okay, and it was fine. Now, let's get to Episode 2. Episode 2 was friggin' awesome. I know people were like, where's the action? Come on, what are we doing? I was like that too. Trust me, I want just as much action as anybody else does. But me, as a story writer myself, I need something like this. I need character development. Not that they have to be developed. This is an ending to the characters. And I love that we have been through with these characters all through 7 seasons. And I love that they're all together now fighting for the same cause. They were against each other, throughout the whole series. And now they're having to fight, a common evil. And I love the speech with Tyrion, we might live through this. Hell, you've lived through the Battle of Blackwater. Hell, you lived through the Battle of the Bastards. And, it's just comparing stories and kind of drinking together. Not really getting drunk and partying, but just it's a calm before the storm, and Brienne getting knighted was friggin' amazing. Yeah! Yeah, I love Brienne, man, and her getting knighted was awesome for me. And then she smiled for the first time in the entire series, which I thought was kind of creepy, but kind of cool at the same time because I was happy for the character. I wasn't happy for me seeing her smile, but I was happy for the character, so it was all good. But I loved everything in Episode 2. It's not one of my favorites of all time, Game of Thrones, but it was a really cool episode, and I loved it. But let's get on to Episode 3, because let me tell you, everybody crying about wanting action and wanting excitement. They got a whole hour and a half of it. And I mean, this episode was awesome from beginning to end. Now, this episode is one of my favorite episodes because it has not even one of my favorite scenes, but the favorite scene of mine. It used to be the chickens with the hound and everything, which is right there with this scene. But Arya killing the Night King, oh man, I've watched that scene over and over and over again, and her coming out of the darkness was so boss, was just so friggin' Arya is a boss now. And she's been my favorite character ever since the beginning, because I knew there was going to be something with her becoming trained as like this ninja of the world. Out of all of our characters going through this whole Game of Thrones and drama and everything, she was the only one that was kind of by herself and struggling just to stay alive and getting revenge on the people that wronged her family and her. And she does. And I've just always loved Arya, my favorite character. And then here comes my favorite character out of nowhere, out of the darkness. When the wind blew by that White Walker's head, I knew it was her. At first I thought it was going to be her spear, but she lost it in the battle, so I knew it wasn't the spear. But I thought that for like a split second until I just saw her come out of the darkness. And even though the Night King, got the drop on her and was like, "Hiya!" he had no idea she was going to be like, let me drop the knife and yasha! And him exploding is just amazing. I could just watch it over and over and over again. It is the best scene in Game of Thrones for me. For me, is that right under that is the chicken scene with the Hound and Arya, of course. But loved it. I know a lot of people have problems with it, but you know, the Night King really isn't in. I mean, from what I've understand, I haven't read the books, but I'm going to after this season's over. But as far as I know, there is no Night King in the book, so it's not a big deal that the Night King died in the third episode. A lot of people are complaining like he should be the final end boss. No, Cersei is the end boss. She's the biggest threat. You know, even bigger than the Night King. You know, you kill the Night King, you kill all his army, just like you did in this episode, which I'm totally cool with and fine with. They built him up, they built this army, and they built this fight up from since the epilogue in season 1, episode 1. You know, it's about the White Walkers and the army of the dead coming. But I thought this was a great finale for that subplot of Game of Thrones. But Game of Thrones is about the Game of Thrones. It's about Cersei and the Lannisters versus the Starks and the Targaryens. That's how I see it anyway. So I'm glad we're going to get 3 big episodes of real Game of Thrones coming down the pike. I'm so excited for tonight's episode, and I will definitely give you an episode review tomorrow for episode 4. But let me first talk about some of the deaths in this episode. A lot of B-listed characters, a lot of some of the fan favorites. You know, Jorah being my favorite out of the ones that died. You know, because I really liked his plight. You know, how he was in love with Dany, you know, but he had to protect her. And then, you know, at first he was like a spy for Varys in Westeros when they were in Eastos. And he changed. You know, he fell in love with her. Once he saw her emerge from the fire with the dragons, he knew right then, this is my Khaleesi. This is who I need to follow. So he's been changed ever since, and I've loved his story arc throughout the whole entire series. I love the way he went out defending Daenerys just like he wanted to. He wanted to die protecting her, so I thought that was cool. But in the episode, the only complaint I really have, of course, it was dark, and I know everybody's talking about how dark it was and they couldn't see anything. But you know what? In my opinion, I thought it was awesome to be that dark. You know, I mean, we've had, what, 70 episodes of pure brightness. You have one battle scene, one episode that's dark in a battle that's at night with a snowstorm. You know, it's going to be dark. And I liked it because it made me feel like I was there. You know, the characters can't see in the dark and they can't see what's going on. Neither can I. It gave me a feeling of dread. You know, like I felt for them. You know, I can't see. Neither can they. You know, so I liked it. I was fine with the darkness. But I know I'm in the minority. I'm probably the only one on the internet that says that it was fine being dark. But I don't care. I like what I like. And you like what you like. But anyway, love the episode overall. It's going to get down to the nitty gritty now. We got 3 more episodes. And I can't wait to see how this whole thing ends. I'm so excited because they ended the Night King my favorite way they could have done. I didn't see it coming. I didn't call it. I had many theories. None of them happened. So, and I'm glad for that because I don't like being right. I want them to surprise me, and that's what's great about Game of Thrones is that it will throw you curveballs every episode. So happy about that. But hey guys, what did you think of the episode? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like my videos and subscribe to my channel. And as always, make yourself happy every day. And the only way to do that is to remember the only thing stopping you is you stopping. Bam! I said, bam!